The overall proposed budget is approximately $274 million.
The Harrisonburg City Budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020 has been turned over to the City Council.
We're now in the phase now where if they have questions or if they need additional information, they usually call me, my senior staff. We work together to answer any questions they have. And hopefully by May 14th, which is the proposed adoption date, we would have answered all their questions and issues, and then they will give the final approval for the budget.
City Manager Campbell introduced a balanced budget to the City Council Tuesday.
Well, the $274 million makes up various funds: water fund, sewer fund, transportation fund. The general fund is part of that, but the general fund is the largest fund that really makes up the operating budget for the city of Harrisonburg, and that's approximately $123 million.
An extensive portion of the budget includes a 1-cent increase for a real estate tax rate.
It contains a 3% salary increase for city employees. There is no increase, thankfully, for health insurance rates for city employees this year for the second year in a row. It contains a $1.4 million increase and transfer to, not an increase, $1.4 million transfer to the school board. $1.1 million transfer from the health insurance fund, which is a fund that we're putting money away to stabilize, but on a financial review of our health insurance fund, we realized that we had reached our goals and our savings in that fund, and the surplus we used in the for general fund accounting this year. And then there's a $1 million increase payment for the Hotel Madison Conference Center.
According to the city manager, the budget fully funds a request by Harrisonburg City Public Schools for more than $1 million.
The city schools allocation is $1.3 million. This is a 4% increase over the prior year. And I must say I said 1.3, but in there we're rounding up to 1.4. So I just want to make that clear. As in the previous years, the school administration has agreed to return to the city any funding that it receives above from the state above its city allocation. This budget also includes an additional $425,000 of additional debt service payments resulting from the $5 million purchase of the land for the new high school. And as you can see in the chart, we have consistently increased our allocations for public education.
Campbell and his team have reviewed the budget to ensure that it was precise.
Actually, it's the city manager's budget. So once I get it to the point where I think it's something that will maintain services to the citizens and provide the key priorities that I think city council are interested in, that's the budget I present to them. So ultimately, I give the final okay and move the budget forward to the city council.
The Harrisonburg City Manager says it took nearly 4 months to get a balanced budget, and now it's been turned over to the City Council. And he says they have every right to ask for changes to the budget, but he's hoping that they won't.
The City Council is the priority, is the policy government, for the city, so they get the right to amend, change, or do whatever they want to the budget at that point. So they're the policymakers, and whatever amendments the majority of the council would like to see, it's our responsibility to do that.
He doesn't believe the budget will be fully rejected by the council.
Well, I don't think it would be to the point where they would say we don't like anything, go back and start over. But I think usually sometimes there are amendments or things that they want to emphasize or things they want to adjust. But then that sends us back to actually look at it closely, because by law I have to present a balanced budget to them. So any changes that makes the budget unbalanced, then I have to go back and make those adjustments to make sure that the budget ultimately is balanced when it's adopted.
He says he has no idea what possible changes can be made to appease the city council.
Well, it's hard to say. You have 5 bosses. You don't know where the opinions are going to come from. I think we're in a good spot. I think I tried to incorporate things I felt that they thought were priorities and things that the city needed to do to move forward. So I think we're in a good spot. Ultimately, I think they will have the final say in what the adopted budget is going to be. But I'm pretty optimistic that we were really close with what we think that they were looking for out of the budget, and hopefully we'll get an adopted budget on May 14th.
Any of the residents have any say on this budget?
Absolutely. There's going to be a public hearing that's scheduled, I believe it's April 23rd is the actual date, where they can come in and and give the city council their opinions on what is in the proposed budget, and can recommend any changes or any information they think needs to be highlighted in the budget.
Campbell admitted he could not have submitted a balanced budget without help.
Just want to again say thank you to the City Council Finance Committee for reviewing the budget, to the executive leadership team of the city, the finance staff. This has been a challenging budget. There was a lot of things in there we had to make balance, but I feel that the budget that's presented maintains services to the citizens of Harrisburg, and in some cases enhance what we have.
It's a team effort. I work closely with the Department of Finance. I work with my senior staff. The department heads come in early on during the budget process and share with me what their needs are in developing the budget, what they need from a programmatic standpoint, what they need from a personnel standpoint, and then all of those needs go into consideration, and then the senior staff actually have to prioritize the things we think are priority, and those are the things that are actually in the proposed budget that I present to City Council. It's probably somewhere between 6 to 8 people that are constantly working to put the budget together. Now, if you look at the department heads in general, who each department actually comes and I meet with them one-on-one, it's as many as 14 people that are actually involved in the budget process. The budget will go into effect, if approved, on July 1, and that will be the spending plan that will be used for the next 12 months beginning July 1.
Madam Mayor, the budget is now City Council's.
In Harrisonburg, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.